Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, welcome, and if you are a return subscriber, welcome back. Everything that I use in this video will be listed down below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss whenever I post another video. Let's get straight into it. I'm starting off by priming my lid using some concealer, and then I will set that with some translucent powder just so that I don't get any creasing before or during the eyeshadow process. The eyeshadow palette that I'm going in with is Revolutions, and I'm starting off with this white shade which is called Cockatoo, and I'm doing something a little different this time. I'm only adding this to the front portion of where my natural crease is, like a little above it, and I'm stopping not even halfway, and I'm just going to build that white up until I can really see it show through before going in with my second shade. I don't have to do too much blending with this look, but still blend it out enough that everything flows together. The second shade that I'm going in with is called Canary, and I'm applying this a little bit over that white as well as moving backwards. And you want to apply it over the white so once you kind of blend those two shades together that they flow. And with each color, you want to make sure that you build the color up enough so that it shows through. With this yellow, it's not the brightest yellow, but if you want it to be more pigmented, what you can do is add a white concealer to your lid versus like a neutral color. I went with the color that's similar to my skin tone because I didn't want the colors to really be super bold, but bold enough. Now moving on to the third shade, and this is called Cardinal, and I'm going to be applying this to the outer portion of my eye, starting from that yellow, overlapping it just a little bit and working my way backwards. Again, I will be building this up as well. And since the orange is pigmented enough, you don't really have to build it up as much. Now I'm just taking a clean brush and just removing the excess powder off the rest of the lid before going in with my concealer. And I'm using the same concealer that I used the first time. I didn't have to do the guide method for this part, but I wanted to make sure that I stopped in the right spot, which I did, which is really good considering that I didn't know for sure if it was the exact spot that I wanted to stop. So now I'm just tracing out that concealer, and I'm gonna keep doing this all the way to the outer corner of my eye. I'm also going to apply an eyeshadow shield just so I can finish off that concealer. I want a crispy line. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Instead of doing a normal way of doing the eyeliner, I'm doing the same steps with these colors and following it all the way back. I got this look idea from a picture that I saw on Pinterest. They just had different colors. You can do it however you want, be creative. It's totally up to you, but these are just the colors that I wanted to do. I'm also dusting away any excess eyeshadow that may have landed above where I wanted it to stop. And now I'm going to go in with a glitter, and I'm just applying this glitter a little at a time, and I'm applying it right above where those colors are just so it can make the color stand out a little more. And for this look, I'm going to apply some lashes, but I'm going to do that off camera. And there we have the lashes on. Again, everything that I use will be listed down below. Now I'm going in with my primer before applying any type of foundation. Primer for me sometimes works, sometimes it don't. So it's optional for me if I want to use it or not. And I'm going to conceal the top portion of my brows using that same concealer, making sure that I really take my time when doing so and I'm not rushing, because I don't want to have to start the whole look all over again because I messed up my brows. And I just like to take this accent brush, which I call a concealer brush because that's all I really use it for, is to clean up the edges of that concealer. And then I decided to use that concealer all over my forehead. And so that I don't mess up my eyeshadow in the back corner, I'm going to use my foundation, and you can use your concealer if you would like, but I just like to use my foundation to clean that area up, making sure that I keep that line nice and crispy, just the way I want it. You don't want to move super fast when doing this because you don't want to chance it of you messing up your eyeshadow. And I'm just adding a little at a time and then blending out those edges. And as you can see, the line is nice and crispy when doing it this way. And because I like the coverage of this foundation, I'm also going to use this underneath my eyes as well. You don't have to do this way because you're going to be adding concealer there anyway, but I do like the full coverage that it gives, and then the concealer just add a little bit brightness to the look. And you don't need a lot, a little goes a long way, and then if you need more, you also can build it up. But again, since you're adding concealer under there anyway, you want to make sure that you're just doing a little at a time. And I'm gonna use that same foundation for the rest of my face, making sure that I buff it in. You can do this stippling method. It just depends on the type of coverage that you want. As of late, I've been loving the buffing method, but I do still use both methods, as you can see in the video. And I'm just gonna blend this foundation all around my face, my forehead included. And to highlight under my eyes, I'm going in with that same concealer that's closer to my skin tone, just applying a little bit underneath my eyes. Now I'm going in with the lighter color, and I do the darker color first before I do the lighter color because I don't want it to be too bright. I'm also applying the lighter color on my forehead as well as the center of my nose. Now I'm going to blend out my forehead first, focusing on the outer edges before going in to blend out the rest. And to blend out under my eyes, again focusing on the outer edges, making sure that I really take my time when blending this part out because I don't want underneath my eyes to be patchy. And I didn't want that concealer sitting on my nose in that spot for too long because this concealer does dry down pretty fast. I'm mainly focusing on blending out the outer edges first. And if you want a more full coverage concealer, let that sit for like a minute or two. Just be mindful that some concealers do dry down faster than others, so keep that in mind. And I haven't blended out the inner portion of my concealer first because I wanted to use my triangle puff to blend that out. But first, I'm going to use my foundation brush to blend out those edges so that the concealer and the foundation kind of flows together and I don't have any type of harsh lines. You don't want harsh lines when doing your makeup because it will show through. Now I'm using that triangle puff and lightly buffing that concealer underneath my eyes, taking my time when doing this so that I don't poke myself in the eye. But as you can see, it gives me a full coverage already, mainly because I did do the foundation underneath first. And now I'm just making sure that I remove any type of excess concealer underneath my eyes before going in with my translucent powder. And I'm just lightly taking the translucent powder just to set that into place before applying a little more to let it bake. I don't bake for too long because I already have dry skin, so I don't want to let any powder just sit in one spot for too long. Everywhere that I apply concealer, I'm going to set with this powder. And I decided to just apply that powder all over my nose because my nose get the oiliest no matter what I do. And I just wanted to apply it there first. Going back in with a little more to apply down the center of my nose. Apply some to my forehead, and I'm also going to apply a little bit over my brows. This will help remove any oils and natural shine from my brows. And for this look, since I won't be doing any type of bronzer with my nose, I'm just going to use whatever product is there. I'm just applying that powder the way I would if I did do any type of bronzing or anything to my nose. And I'm going to let that sit for a little while I apply the bronzer to the rest of my face. Very lightly because this bronzer is very pigmented. I'm going to use my foundation brush to clean up the bronzer just a little bit, making sure that everything flows together. I'm also going to use my same foundation brush to dust away any excess powder. And for this particular step, I always say it is up to you if you want to do it. A lot of people don't like to do it. I like to do it because it cleans up that bronzer underneath as well as give me a more snatched look. I applied my setting spray as well as mascara and my lip products off camera so that the video don't be too long. I hope y'all enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss whenever I post another video. Everything that I used in this video will be listed down below, and I will see you in the next one.